on your end? Yep, says recording is started.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you.
Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen. Yeah, I think we're waiting on the others to agree to the
Okay.
recording. Did you have to check through something that said you agreed to be
Yes,
recorded?
I had to
Yeah.
check, and then I had to turn my mic and camera on.
Yeah, no, I think we're all here. Our
Okay,
cameras and mics are just off, that's all.
perfect.
I just want to see someone so I get acknowledgement. Okay, so here we go. On your training manual, you'll also have the link to get into the cloud. But to get into the cloud is app.scorevision.com. So once you get in there, I sent users for everybody. So you guys should have an email. If you don't already, you should have it in your email box. Once you go into app.scorevision.com, it's going to take you straight to your dashboard. So the dashboard is basically a space that once can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It just went bleh, like that, and I just want to make sure you can hear me.
I'm sorry. Is this something we should have access to now? Like we should be following along with you or no?
I don't know, Elise,
I didn't get an email. That's why I'm asking.
I
Okay,
got an email, but it didn't work. I can't get into it. It wants a username and password that I don't have.
So you
I think in the email, so I just got the email as well.
Link.
Yeah, in the email, there's a configure your account link.
Yeah, it wouldn't open for me.
Oh, maybe it's because it's blocked by FCBOE. I don't know.
Worked the first time. I had to call and get it fixed, but I'm in. I have
it's
it
blocking.
pulled up on my account.
I don't know. He has it. Will you just resend the invitation? I'll try it while we're on the call.
Yes, there's that.
Thank you.
And then, okay, I don't know how to do. Elise, do you want to send me your email in the chat, and I will make you a user when it gets to user time?
Sure, we'll
Can
do.
you use you as an example?
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so back to the beginning. So app.scorevision.com is going to be in the training pack, but that's how you go ahead and get into your cloud. Once you open your cloud, it's always going to go to your dashboard first. So it's once we get your season set in here, this is just going to be an upcoming games and events. It's for you to do a quick reference for any kind of game that you would need to change a time or cancellation for whatever reason. And then it will hold recent games that just happened for about 2 weeks. Underneath here is access of what you guys have to all of the apps for scorekeeping and then some. Do you guys play lacrosse on that field?
Yes.
And soccer?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure. So you guys are going to get football, lacrosse, soccer. Universal is basically a not sports specific app. So it's just timeouts, and points. That's it. Fan app is something extra, which Rick, I'm not sure if they explained to you what fan app is. Do you guys know what that is?
No clue.
Okay. So fan app is an extra app for you guys that it's free with the package. It's free to your spectators. You can advertise on it. It can go ahead and put your schedule in. It's your home team schedule, and you can put notifications on there for the school. I'm not sure if you guys already have something similar that you use in school. It's just something free. Obviously, you would have to promote it for it to be pushed through. So that's up to you guys if you want to do it. I have some in that training pack. There's a whole video on the fan app if you want to check it out and see if you guys are interested in something like that. The other app that is part of your guys' package is called SV Capture. SV Capture is a secondary app that you guys can use from your cell phones or from an iPad, and it allows you to take like a 10-second instant replay clip. Or you can use it kind of like as a camera. You would use the Apple TV, and it would just go ahead and push whatever you want on the screen or whatever you want to record up onto the screen. So it wouldn't really be recording, but you would be using like as a feature to cast the image up to the board. So a lot of people use SV Capture for graduation. It's just so you don't have to have a big old external camera. You can go ahead and put this on SV Capture. I don't know if you have it on your field. Some people have graduation on their field, but it's stuff like that that you can go ahead and do things like that and cast that image up onto the board. SV Capture also has these instant replay videos. They would go to the producer app, which is the secondary iPad that you would be involved in your package. That's kind of the fun app. It plays all of your hype videos and the, you know, the Star Spangled Banner, all the fun little videos that say touchdown and first down, things like that. You also can have a section in there to use those instant replays to play on the board, but they can actually be intertwined with a fan app. So that video can slip into the game feed, so it can be part of your game feed so they can see that video when they're watching the game feed. So it kind of does two things. Today we're going to go over resources, organization, and competitions and events. Your 102 would be more of the SV Capture and media. And then your 103 is learning how to use the producer app and the other scorekeeping apps. So just kind of let you know what we're going to go through. So I'm going to drop down to resources. Elise, I'm getting super close to getting you your user. Hold on. So
While you're doing, quick question. When you
Sure.
say these are apps,
Mhm.
does that mean they have to be on like an iPhone or iPad, or can they be on a computer?
They have to be on an iPad.
Okay.
Yeah. So I use this as a simulator. So all of the stuff that you'll see us for, we use a simulation to get and train you guys with it, but you're going to actually would use the iPads.
Okay.
Okay. So the bottom tier is your resources. So resources, I would like to think of it, it's kind of like a junk drawer. If you can't get a hold of support or any one of us, this is kind of something to arm you if you're working late at night and you want to check something out and work with something and you can't get a hold of anybody. So the first thing that we have here in this first card is the knowledge base. So the knowledge base is just simply our articles that we have for all different kinds of sections of the board. So we're doing ScoreVision Cloud today. So we're going to do all of competitions and events, and we're working through organizations right now. So everything that we go through, that there's going to be a single guide that's going to help you along the way. But we have stuff for SV Capture, fan apps, score keeping apps, producer app, digital media, all kinds of stuff that you guys can check out if you want to. Next, we also have extra sessions for training. So we just finished our fall training session. So we are doing another workshop on the 10th of September about theme nights. If you guys want to attend, you can. You can check in here and just hit register now. And this is kind of how it's set up. We'll do one probably in the spring and maybe the winter seasons. I'm not sure what they're planning on doing, but so it's a community training. So you'll co-work with other schools for any of these trainings, and you would just sign up for anything that's you're able to fit your schedule with to go through. Then this is your theme night workshop. So there's 4 different times. If you're unable to make any of these, you can always email training and ask for the video recording, and they can send you the recording of it if you're interested in it. Next, this is the ScoreVision user guides. These are our newer things. So this is a great guide for SV Capture. Also there's events, SV announcements, and Universal Scorekeeper in here also. These two will be smushed together, I believe probably at the end of the season. And so there'll only be one card. Next, we have the ScoreVision Academy program. I'm not sure how much you guys are going to have student involvement. Is that kind of the plan in the end with this, or what's the road that you guys want to kind of take with this? Do we know? Oh, Jamie, you're muted. Sorry.
What do you mean student involvement?
Like, are you going to have them work on creating content, things like that, like a journalism I don't know. People have like broadcasting classes and sports media classes, things like that. I mean, it's an option, or you're gonna have kids. I have some kids that don't have classes, but they use it for service hours, things like that. So I'm just gonna show you the
Right now, we
academy.
want to keep score and do stuff at the games. Like that's we're in survival mode at this point, and then we
Okay.
can go big later.
Okay. So if you want to include kids, we do offer an academy program. This is just going to give you some resources and program guides and things like that for you guys to go through. Best practice guide, if you guys have never worked with LED, this kind of helps you guys learn about video and photo and things like that that would go on the board for LED. Rick, this is probably super important if you want to have print this out. This is game day checklist. Just for newbies, it's a good thing to have, a good guide to have. So you might not need it after game 2, right? And you have everything down. Digital media specification guidelines. This is going to be your guides for your specific board. If you want to start talking about advertising for revenue for the boards, I can help you. That's usually what I end up helping you guys with. This is something you can download, and we can like cherry pick specs for specific people. Like if they buy a certain space and they want to do their own ad, make their own ad, we can give them the spec guide, and you just give them what they purchased and not like the whole thing, if that makes sense. Today we're going to talk about prep. So we do have templates for putting your schedule in and rosters for the kids in here. This is one place you can find it. We're also going to have it in competitions and events for you. I don't know if I have anybody on here that's creative, that's doing creative things, but if I do, we do give you some templates for all the spaces on the board that you would have to put an image or something like that in there. The platform that we do use is Photoshop, so that's what the templates are, but I'm just telling you, before anything happens and you do media, the name of the game is you can use Canva. I don't care what platform you guys use. We just need to make sure that we're formatting it correctly. So what our formatting requirements are, like it's a JPEG ping for a static ad, an MP4 or M4V for a video, and we just need to have it cut to the specific spaces that you're going to fill. So just letting you know, like the big portion of the board would be a 1920 by 1080. So if you're going to do a player card, you would have a nice picture of the kid on there. It needs to be a 1920 by 1080 and a JPEG ping. And it will work in our cloud and spit to the board. Okay. This is also, if you plan on using the fan app, we do give you this awesome ScoreVision ad. It's very ScoreVision-y. So it's got our yellow color on there. We give you this fan app promotional kit if you want to create something for yourself. It's got our QR code for you guys to advertise that fan app with your school brand on it. So that's available for you if you want that. This also is a player profile animation template. This is for After Effects is what the template is in the tutorial. But like I said, you can make it in Canva. You don't have to do it in Photoshop. It still has the same requirements as any video that we have. This is a lead into what we're going to start doing for theme nights. So we have a breast cancer awareness for pink out games. We kind of give you all of the material if you want to use it. So you have stuff for the fan app, stuff for the scoreboard. We also give you stuff for your own social media and brand wrapper pieces. That's for your background, just so you can have the same ribbon all across the board if you really want to have a unified thing in there. Okay, the only super fun thing that's in here is the creative library. And the creative library, we are gonna arm you with a whole bunch of creative stuff that you guys are already gonna have. So we give you guys a starter pack. In that starter pack, we're gonna make sure that your board spaces are all filled with content. So you're not worrying about having to create anything, and you can literally do an install and start playing the next day once you're ready to go. Okay. So we're going to give you the background of your board. We're going to give you a school-sponsored cinema ad, a fan app ad, then all of the little ad spaces that you could put advertising in, we're going to go ahead and put school stuff in there. So it's going to have all of those things filled in. The extra stuff are what we call quicks. Quicks are videos that are make some noise, touchdown, right? First down, all of those fun things that we have. but we're going to give you a set. So you're going to get like, I think it's 10 football, 6 soccer, 6 lacrosse. Then you get a whole packet of general, a whole packet of hype. And then you also get 2 American flags, one that has audio in it and one that is just like a waving flag that you can have the band play or whatever you need to have. But this creative library allows you to explore other things that we have. So it's all of our quicks that we've had for throughout the years. I act like we've been here forever, but the last 9 years. So you can shop by color, you can shop by sports, you can shop by hype animations, general animations, and then you also can shop by theme. If you look at the front of this card, you guys have a coupon code. Most of our packages are $100, just letting you know, but I'm going to give you this coupon code. It's for $200. I don't know why we have it, because you can reuse it as many times as you want. So you can literally go download everything if you want and have it yours. You guys, your color's blue, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you can come in here and shop for blues if you want and go through and look through football stuff. We have a couple different things in here. You can just do this. Pick. You guys are getting this one. Let's find the football one. So this is the package that you guys have. It's called Glisten. So it tells you what's in here: first down, fourth sack, second, third down, touchdown, and turnover. And you just scroll down to hit video preview, and then you can preview what the video would look like that can go on the board. We also provide a trivia template, so you can make a trivia game if you'd like. And then some of these have audio, so just be cautious of that. Anything that's older in this shop by theme, like this POW is all a comic book theme. It's not color specific. This one's really cool for outdoors. It's like Friday Night Lights. This one's all red. Don't pick this one and don't pick that one. They're just not my favorites. So these are all for you, but it's really for you guys can create anything you want in the future. You don't have to do it today or this year even, right? So we kind of arm you with a whole pack. So if you get through football and you want to do something a little bit different for lacrosse, you can go ahead and pull Revolve up and do the lacrosse for Revolve, right? And put them in and have a different section for that. Any questions about resources? Okay, so when you get into the fun stuff, just remember Creative Library, coupon code. It's all in the same box, okay? Okay, organizations. All right, Elise, are you ready?
I'm
We're
ready.
We're putting you in there.
Yay!
Okay. So organization is all of your foundational stuff. We're going to go over the first 3. All of these other ones you probably won't use very often. So users are in here. Right now, I kind of made it everybody who Rick had invited a cloud user, because I'm assuming that these are all the important people concerning the board, so they would need to have access. So let me get Elise's email.
And Colleen, are we able to create accounts as well on our end?
Yes.
Okay.
So how this works is cloud users are top tier, so they can create lateral use and below.
Okay.
So we're going to go in here and add user. And I'm just going to, I hope I copied that. It's pretty small. There we go. So you're going to do first name, Heaton. Okay. And then you have to provide them with a user. So if the last name has 6 letters in it, I just go ahead and put the last name in there. When you get your email, they can go ahead and change that username to something more specific.
Okay.
So we're going to do first name, last name, email. Their username you have to create. You do not need to provide a phone number if you don't have it. If your facility requires you to have multi-factor auths for different websites, you can go ahead and check that box. You guys would be considered for us a coach or a sports facility. So at least you're going to be a sports facility. And then we need to add your role. So your role is going to be a cloud user. If you ever need to check out the role assignments, you can go ahead and hit this question box, and it's going to explain all of them. Your primary use is going to be a cloud user or contributors. So cloud users, like I said, they're top dogs. They have full access to the cloud and all of the apps. Contributors is going to strip all of that cloud access away from that user. So like if you want to use SV Capture and have kids involved in that to take videos, they would need to be a contributor. We do not want to give them access to the cloud at all. So contributors are scorekeepers and SV Capture users. Team admins are basically, you can give a certain person the role of just having access to their team. They would be able to change their color, and they can change their mascot, and they can go ahead and put in their roster, and that's all access that they would have. An event admin, you would only give them access to their event, so they would only have access to do any kind of editing for that event. So if you had an event for graduation, they would only be able to do stuff for graduation. Practice app, that's for something else, and media rep is for somebody else, so you don't have to worry about those two. So to finish the users off, you're required to give them a role. So we're going to go ahead and make at least a cloud user, and then you're going to pick your high school, and then we're going to go ahead and hit default, and I'm going to hit save. Once you hit save, it's going to add to your list of cloud users. And so your first top users right here, you have one for David and one for SV. These are super users. One's for our creative team and one's for our support team. If you happen to accidentally delete them, we're going to create a new one, just letting you know. So that's so we can work the cloud and all of your stuff at the same time as you. So we have Brandy, you got yours, right? Your Brandy makes perfection. And you didn't have any problems getting in to make it? Okay. And then Jamie, did you still have problems with your second email?
Yeah, I can't get on.
That is so weird.
It's bringing me, if I hit configure account, it's
Mhm.
bringing me to a username or email and password.
Like to a blue screen?
Yeah, and then it says the invitation token provided is not valid.
What the heck? After
Hit that-
this,
Maybe hit that resend invitation that's there below Jamie's name.
She did.
Oh,
And none of them, I have 3 of them now, and none of them work.
there you go.
and nothing's wrong with your email. Your email's correct because it's going to you.
Yes, that's correct.
Mine worked. I'm in.
Are you JAM? JAM, okay. My niece's name
IE.
Jamie Lynn, and she's JAI. Voorhees. I'm just curious if maybe when I made him earlier today, something I don't know. Oops, I don't want to do that. Sorry. I don't want to be anything. So it won't let me one more time, and then I promise I'm not going to fiddle with this anymore. I'm going to make the people with bigger brains do it. JAM.
IE. Yep.
FO. FFORHHIES. Default. Save. Okay.
Okay, I'll
See
try
what
it.
happens. See what happens. Okay, so if you get contributors, like if you start inviting scorekeepers and kids to do SV capture or adults to do SV capture, it's going to build a second block down here for contributors, and it's going to line everybody up that way. So once you guys have access, you can go ahead and hit this edit button. If you don't like the username that I gave you, you can change it right here if you want. You can do it that way. Also, if is it Natal? Is that how they say that? Am I saying
Natil.
Natil? Okay, they're not on the call. So this excuse me, this invite is for 72 hours. If she can't get that or he can't get that in for like until Friday, you might need to hit send re-invite and it just sends that token again to do it again. Any questions about users?
Yeah, real quick. So these all carry over, right? So this isn't just your, you had mentioned this was your I don't know, training software, but these are the real users. So when they get in here, this is actually where we'll build the stuff, right? In this
Yeah.
cloud here. Got it. Perfect. Thanks.
Yes. The simulator that you'll hit that we have is for a board and for the apps.
Right.
So this is real deal. So I'm
Yeah.
in your cloud right now. So
Yeah,
I'm logged
perfect.
in as SV, this one
Got it.
right now. Okay, organization settings is our next one. And Jamie, let us know if it lets you do it. Otherwise,
I'm
you're
in.
in? So I wonder if it was something was going on when I was made. That's weird because I made brandies at the same time. Oh well. Okay. So organization is basically all of your foundation for your board. So how our apps work is we can kind of set rules here in the cloud to reflect on the scorekeeping app. So the main goal is that we just want you guys to get in that press box. They're going to pick what sport that they are going to be, you know what I mean, scoring, what level they're scoring, and then that today's game is going to be in a box and they're going to hit go. All of the rules, all of the rosters, all of that stuff is going to be in that box and they're just going to keep score. They're not messing around with trying to do anything else or adding anything. So that is the goal of why we use the cloud. These sport settings allow you to do basic settings per season and per app. Meaning, if I would like my football coach to use the app during practice, I want to make sure that he's got some basic settings. So he can pick from the app, okay, I want this to be 4 quarters, 2 halves. I want 12 minutes or 8 minutes. We're going to keep this all very basic. So when we go and put in our specific rules for a season, it doesn't interfere if a coach would go in there and try to create a game. Okay. So all of these can stay the same. There's really nothing different. If you guys had like an indoor board, like they just changed the rules for basketball for the double bonus rule. So that's something that we would change because that's across the board for everybody, if that makes sense. Advertising. I know you guys aren't doing much of it right now.
Yeah, yes, we are.
You're like, yes, we are. Okay. So right now, this is a default for advertising. At this moment, whatever you put in the board that's a static ad, it's going to rotate at 15 seconds a piece. You can come in here as you start growing. You might need to change that time to more like 10 seconds, 7 seconds, 6 seconds, and nothing really under 6 seconds. But you can come in here and change that time so you can go ahead and have those be the smaller time when you upload it. We also have a scheduler in those sequences that we can build out, meaning that we're going to run an automatic sequence that's going to run through pregame, halftime, timeout, period, break. If I have let's say I'm like McDonald's, which I know you guys would never use for a sponsor, but it's really good for examples.
Hey,
If I
hey, Joshua.
so I can go in and say, so Matt, if you're doing my sponsors, I'm gonna give you my branding package, let's say in July, and you're coming in here to set this up, and I want to run the Oreo Java shake ad for 2 weeks. Your first 2 games, and then the McRib is going to come out the last games of the season. I can go in July and schedule the Java shaky thing, whatever, from this date to this date and leave it alone. And then when that date shows up, it just pushes that item out into the sequence. When that date comes to expire, it pulls it. So
Gotcha.
then you can go ahead and put the McRib in there at the same time, and it's going to stack and do all that stuff. Now, I don't know if you're going to have an advertiser that's going to give you, or you give them the option to have several ads, right? But
Yeah.
it's the same for school. So, Rick, if they come up and say, hey, I want this to be playing for DECA and this to be for this, can we throw these out? We already have it done. Let's go ahead and put it in the sequence and just do it and have it scheduled. Then you don't have to worry about it. And that's all stuff we'll go through with your media one. We'll show you how to schedule all that out. But whoever's going to run those ads, so if it's kind of split love between you, Rick, and Matt. You might want to put your emails in here. That whenever an ad goes live, you're going to get an email. And here's why it's important, who's ever rolling the advertising out. And this is just from my experience. So let's say you have someone that chooses that they want to advertise for soccer, but not football. So you go ahead and make a contract for them, but they've given you their stuff and you've put it in here out of the kindness of your heart, but they never sent you the check, right? You never receive payment for that space. Getting this notification 24 hours before that goes live, that allows you to double check to make sure you receive payment. If you didn't receive payment, you can pull that ad out of your rotation. This expire is just a reminder it's going to expire. Sometimes people might ask for you to extend it for a week, right? And just kind of roll it out for the rest of the season. You can go ahead and change that. Okay. That's that spiel. I swear we're getting so close, guys. Okay, so fan app. What we offer for the fan app, since it's free to your spectators and it's free for you guys, we want you to have the opportunity to have like a homepage on our fan app. So you will advertise for them to go to the ScoreVision fan app. They will search star and then they can go ahead and like it, and we can make sure you guys have a homepage. So it's going to be just specifically for you all. But you don't have to keep the stuff that we chose. I don't even know if 73 still goes to school there. You know, we're just taking pictures from your website and putting it on there. So you can put whatever you want on here, the front of the field, the front of the school, whatever you like. But this is a little precursor to what we talked about for media. We're always going to give you the formatting instructions and all of the spaces that we need to add any kind of media. So for your mascot and for this header image, it needs to be a JPEG PNG non-animated GIF. And then above the space, we're going to go ahead and put the pixel size that it needs to be cut to. So this little mascot's a 250 by 250, and this header image is a 1280 by 720. Now, since this is connected to your app, we would just go ahead and delete the image first, choose the new image and put it in there, and then you would just take that app and upload it or like refresh it on your phone, and it will drop the new image in. You also can choose your own color. I'm not sure if this is your correct blue, but you can do your branding blue by putting your number in here. So, and anywhere we have any kind of coloring, all hex colors or color numbers are approved. You just got to put it in this little pocket down here, and it will go ahead and match it online and on the board. Okay, so the second part of the app, so I'll just show you. Okay, so this is the header image. That's your mascot. Your school will be right underneath here. It'll print out your name. Obviously, any kind of separation of different things, it's going to have your blue color. So this is today's events is going to be on top. This feature section is your homepage advertisers. So all of the advertisers on the fan app, you also can add a link. That link you can send and we can keep track of people. So like I have some people that will be like coupons, like for free things for fast food, whatever. Or they'll do like find the Easter egg, like find where we have the link and you can get a free school t-shirt. First 5 people that find it come up to the press box and pick your shirt out, right? Things like that to get people to engage with the fan app and download it, right? So those are some of the things that people will do to do stuff like that. The next portion of this is your upcoming events. So outside of today, it'll go ahead and line up your next session of games that you have. And then underneath here is your home button, your roster and stats button. Since you guys are outdoor, it'll just be a flat roster, so you can put your roster of your kids in there. And then your home schedule will be in this button. But I don't know, do you guys use like Our School or something like that for your scheduling, or Book It, or whatever those websites are for schedules for all of school? If you do, but you can add whatever you want. You can add another custom navigation link to the bottom of this fan app. So you just need the link title, and then you're going to go ahead and put the link there, and it's going to add a 4th item right here if you want. But we also can put default messages on the fan app. So if you have no events going on, it'll appear in this box when nothing's going on. So some people put like, we're busy practicing, or we're out for the holidays. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to put in there, you can put a message in there. Once you hit save, you can refresh your fan app, and then it will go ahead and push the new items through. Any questions about that? Probably a ton later, but I'm just, right? I'm going to ask you if you have questions. I know you're not going to have any till later, but I want you to stop me if you do, okay? Okay. So keywords is just a way for them to find your school in all of our schools. So like we have a school here in Omaha that's called Bellevue West, but everybody calls it Bell West. So you can put your nicknames and things like that in here. That would be a common search feature for your school. You're just going to separate each item by a comma and then just hit save keywords. I have you guys down as a high school. You're K through 12 though, right? Or
No,
are you just a high school? Okay,
just high
perfect.
school.
Okay, so then high school. All right, if your IT
That
program,
reminds me, however, if we wanted to do something for middle school, which will still use the stadium, do they have their own
Absolutely.
page? Can they have their own fan app page?
no, they would be merged with that because it would
Okay.
be a different, it would have to be a different org for them to have a different fan app page.
Okay.
So they would just go ahead. You can still put middle school in there and put their schedule. We actually how the schedule kind of divvies out in here. See where it says team 1, team 2, and it has your home field or whatever. It's going to be separated by like your season. So we're going to call your seasons varsity, JV, freshman, middle school. Those are how your seasons are going to be put in.
Got it.
Okay, so if you guys need to have that double auth per IT department, you guys can go ahead and check this box, and then all the users from here on out will have that need to have it. And then this media moderation is for the SV Capture app. I'm going to mark this yes. And the reason being is that I don't want it to pump anything publicly until you guys are comfortable with taking images on SV Capture. So SV Capture turns your cell phone into a camera. So like I don't want like field or feet or elbows or back of people's heads, things like that going on until you guys learn how to record on it. So once you guys get really comfortable, we can turn this moderation off. And what happens is it's going to send all those videos to SVC Manager. You can preview them and then approve them to go public is what you can do.
So yeah, question. So do you need to be on the local area network for
Mm-mm.
that? It can be anywhere. It's still cloud-based. So it pushes it to the cloud and then goes. Okay.
Yeah, I learned
You
how
could
to
be
use SVC Manager on a boat on the Missouri River.
awesome. Okay.
So,
Interesting.
especially if you guys are like at away games and you guys also can score away games if you want to. That's kind of next year stuff. But if that's something that you really, really want to do, we can make that happen. But it's up to you. So you guys can put anything up. If you have like an event for graduation, even though it's not on the field, but you can post an event for graduation on the fan app and you can send videos to that event. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
crowd engagement.
Yeah. If you had off the media moderation, you could send the live feed to the fan app.
No,
Okay. I was
sorry.
being ambitious there. I got
I
it.
know.
Okay.
That would be kind of what we're calling like cloud stream, and we don't have that out in beta yet. So that would
Okay.
be using a different one. We're still working on that. Not sure when that would come through. Sorry, I didn't turn my phone off. I apologize. That's a work in progress.
Yep.
And we have new things
But
every
if we
summer.
wanted to do like, I don't know, Rick, if we were in Buford, 2.5 hours away from here, you name a place, right? And we wanted to stream the game on the big board in Panther Stadium from a phone, you could theoretically do that.
That live feature uses the Apple TV though you would only be able to do the 10-second clips.
So it's
That's
only
one.
the 10-second clips.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you need to be on the local area network to do any length of time.
Yep, because you use the Apple TV for the live cam to work.
Gotcha. Okay.
I love questions. That's good one. Good ones.
I mean,
Okay.
technically, you probably could. Okay, gotcha. But if you use the Apple TV, you could technically do it through a Teams meeting like this or something like that.
If you can figure it out, knock yourself out.
I'll teach you next time.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Okay, so that's really it for organization settings. Next, we have location. All I'm really worried about is that we're going to call you Stars Mill High School. We're okay with that? With apostrophe S, just verifying that it's
Yep.
correct. Okay.
Correct.
Did you activate us on the fan app yet?
They might not have. I can
Okay.
do that real quick. I have to turn it on. I'll do it here in a second.
That's okay. Sorry.
Um,
Go ahead.
You're okay.
I was just
So
in there
ad,
poking around.
yeah, absolutely. So ad reports, what we do is at the end of every month, we pull media reports and we also can pull ad click-throughs. So like I said, FanApp has that features button. It also has a game feed. Both of those, you can attach links to those ads and we can monitor how many people click through those ads. So end of every month, we pull a report for that month. I don't know, Rick, if you're going to do the advertising for this, when you guys are getting images in or videos in, it's really good for you to name them what they are first. So if it's McDonald's, change the name so you can sort through all of your advertisers and pull a report for that. Sometimes, marketing companies will give you the file like 26543, you know what I mean? Whatever their naming is, just go ahead and change it and rename it. What's really helpful that we've learned is renaming it for like the year. So if it's McDonald's Shamrock Shake 2024, if that makes sense, then you can kind of keep track of when they gave it to you. And if they're trying to use it for last year or this year, vice versa. And we can talk about that. We can do a whole advertising call if you want to. Okay, nitty gritty. The last poll, guys, and you're out of there. All right, so competitions and events. Oh, I forgot to show you this one. App usage reports. If you ever want to report, it's a 2-week report. It will take, no one's using anything, so it's going to take a while to pull. It just lets you know who's been signed in. Knowledge base is just a repeat of the help center. It's just in the organization section. And then audits allows you to tell you who has been in the org or into the cloud. So it shows me in here, and then Rick, you're in here, people putting their stuff in there. Okay, now we're going to skip over to competitions and events. So competitions and events is how we're going to put our seasons in. And like I said before, our seasons are different. Your seasons are football, soccer, and lacrosse. Our seasons would be considered football, varsity, JV, and freshman. What we're doing is we're creating a bucket for those teams, and we're going to put the schedule in and their roster in, and any specific rules per level are going to be in that bucket. So how do we do that? We're going to come to competitions and events, and we're going to go to other options, and we're going to add and view all seasons. You're going to have seasons already created for you. These are default seasons, and this is what you guys are going to learn how to use those apps for. So default is going to be for practice, and default is also going to be for you guys learning how to learn to use the board. Okay. So sorry, my dog just got out. Can you put her back in her crate, please? So then what we're going to do is we're going to create a new season, and we're going to go ahead and hit add a new season. So I'm going to go ahead and add your first football season for you guys. So we're just going to go ahead and pick football, and I'm going to put 2024 varsity in here. Oops, sorry.
Actually, we are gonna need another one in here, if you wanted to create flag football, I don't.
So flag football, you would use football for, and just change the rules. Because we don't have a flag football app, or you can use the
Okay.
Universal app if you want to. A lot of people use Universal for flag football, and they just go ahead and the Universal app you just set up from the press box, and it's points, timeouts, and time. Okay, so we're going to do 2024 varsity, and then you're going to come down here and add your start date, which will be today. And then we want to go ahead and populate our end date, and we would probably want to make sure that we're not playing any sub-district or district games on the field, so you kind of want to overshoot.
Yeah,
So
just
it
do
doesn't.
12/31. I just do the end of the year, 12/31.
Okay, that's fine. Please put her away. I don't care.
We can't, Colleen, we can't hear her. If she barks, we can't hear it.
I just don't want her to be around me.
Oh, well, that's fair enough too.
She's distracting to me because she's not where she needs to be. Okay. So I'm just gonna put the 31st. So what's gonna happen is on the 31st, it's just gonna automatically archive on its own. So it pops in for that year. So do you guys do boys or men's? Everybody's different. Do you call the guys boys or do you call them men?
Boys.
Boys. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and put the rules in for that season for varsity. So oops. You guys do college rules, right, for overtime?
Yes.
Hey, I want to be clear. So when you're asking all this stuff about college rules and stuff that I obviously don't know anything about, like, are we managing that?
Yes, you have to put all this information into the system.
Rick Fontaine.
It's my list.
Facilities.
Okay, so our varsity 12 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. Period break 1 minute. Or is it
Yes.
three?
One.
And then halftime is it 12?
No, it's
20 minutes.
It's
Is it
20
20
minutes.
minutes and then you have the
I
3
do
minute
know
20
that.
plus 3.
20 plus 3. Okay. So we'll start with 20.
That's fine. I can change all this later.
Yeah. So you're just gonna come in. Do you have play clocks through us?
Yep. 40
Okay,
seconds.
Okay. And then if yards for first down is 10. And then if you want it to be on the fan app, you're going to use this communication settings and you can check it if you want to. If you guys decide that you do not want to do the fan app this year or this first season, just come in and uncheck that. But it will still can go to the fan app and you can watch it. Just don't advertise it and see if that's something that you guys want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. I got to fix the overtime rules because they're being weird. Okay, so once we get here, if we go back to add and view all seasons, you're going to see another card show up. So then you're going to do another season for JV, another season for freshmen if you have it. Then for soccer, you're going to do the same thing for soccer, boys and girls. And then do you have a girls lacrosse team too?
Yep.
So you're going to do the same thing for girls and boys for lacrosse. And then your field hockey, you can use football again if you want to, or I can give you the hockey app, which is kind of similar to field hockey, but not the same.
We didn't field hockey.
Or you can use the universal.
Yeah, we don't have field hockey, but we will have track and field that'll use it in some cases.
Yeah, so we don't have a track app. We have an app that's called Publisher. So do you guys use like Finish Links or something like that, a timing system that gets in there
Yeah.
to do that? Okay. So they can usually are wanting to HDMI up into the board and you can have them do that, but sometimes they just don't have a really pretty interface to go on the board.
Okay.
We have what's called Publisher, which we can introduce to you in a little bit. I don't want to like muddy the waters because they're already probably pretty muddy.
Well, we will at some point in one of these trainings leading up to our first game is we need to figure out how we get our instant replay through to the board as well.
Yeah. So that's probably an HDMI connection to your board. And we can set up a meeting with the installers too.
Okay.
And talk to them about it.
Okay.
But Publisher is basically a really simple app that's going to be like a spreadsheet. So you can go ahead and make columns. So first, second, third, 100-meter dash, Joe, John, whatever, and then their time if you want to. It's up to you. Excuse me, sorry. Okay. So once we have our seasons all made out, if you hit this bar, it's going to transfer whatever current season is being displayed. So we have this import once your season is in this white bar, all of these items will go into that bucket. So if I just transfer to events, see how events flips through, and then I come here and I just hit boys varsity and boys varsity is in here. So we want to go and import all of this stuff because we want life really easy and you guys have a lot of schedules to put in. So you can go and hit import team and game data. This is the template that you will use right here where you download the CSV template, but also it's in net resources too if you want that. So you can download it either way. What the template looks like is this. Let me pull this over. This is just an example. It's a volleyball. It works for all of your sports. Your first line is going to be your date and start, location name. It's basically your header. These are all the buckets that we're going to fill in with this import. So we're going to
And
do
so
our
we put
date.
our away schedule in here as well.
If you want, right? That's if you're
It
going to
feed,
score
does it
away.
feed the fan app?
It will feed the fan app and it will
Okay.
let them know, but it will not have a game feed if you do not take an iPad with you and score. So it'll say that there's a game, but it won't fill the game feed.
Understand. Thank you.
So, okay. So it's your choice. So you can do home or away or both, or not home or away.
So if
both
they're
or home.
So, okay, so there's no link. So if they use ScoreVision at
Mhm.
their stadium, is there a way to link it to ours so that when they score the game, it
Yeah, so you can take an iPad with you and
Yeah.
you can score away. All you need is an internet connection.
got that
'Cause
part,
Yep.
but there's no connection between two different instances, like a different neighboring high school who is using ScoreVision
Oh,
and
yeah.
using their, okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do date, start time, location. So this is when I checked your location name, if stars, apostrophe, mills, right? Mill, sorry. You're gonna put that location in there, your gender, your periods, and your minutes. It's obviously you're gonna have minutes in there and it's not 0. But then you're gonna put your home team names. So this is a little bit different because this has got different names for different teams, but this is gonna be the full school name for you guys. And then your short name, which is going to be whatever you want on the board to represent you guys. It can be up to 20 characters. Okay. So this is usually your mascots. Then you can put your team color in here. So this is, you can put your hex color because you have a different kind of blue. So you can brand it so it's the correct blue on the board. Then you're going to repeat the process for your visitors. So you're going to put your visitor, school, short name, and then their color. Okay.
And you don't have to put the number code. You can just put a
Blue.
primary color there. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So visitors, you just think 16 box of Crayola. You can't get super fancy. Like it won't take mustard.
Yeah. You can never find the black or
We've
red,
tried
but
like
yeah.
chartreuse and periwinkle. Sometimes we just try to see if the color will take it. If it doesn't like the color you put in there, it's going to make them orange. So
Okay.
that's what it does.
Got it.
So once this is done, right, you're going to save it. It automatically saves for a CSV. And then you're going to go ahead and here and hit import. I'm actually going to back out of this and kind of show you in our training org what it looks like. When it's all completed, it's going to look something like this. So you're going to have a whole bunch of organizations stacked up and you're just going to find what you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and find football. And so once you do your import, it tells me I have 4 teams imported in 10 games. So I want to manage my team. So on the board, there's specific things that are going to be shown on the board that we need to fill in. And one of those things is a team mascot. So these cards are going to be imported without a mascot in there. You have to put them in there. So Max is what's usually in here. So if I add a team individually, make them yellow, and hit save, and we go back into varsity. When you import, it's going to look like this right here. This guy is Max. When you see Max, there needs to be an image put into the cloud because Max will show up on the board.
Mm.
Okay. So for Anytown High School or home, we would just open this up, hit team info, hit view. You're going to mark if your home team is home, right? Because we want to indicate that that's going to have your schedule and roster pushed to the fan app. You can make any corrections that you maybe messed up on the import. Then it's going to say for all images for the mascot is a JPEG ping non-animated GIF, and then a 500 by 750. Then you're going to choose your file. So, sorry. Darn it, I moved it this last time. There we go. So I'm going to put that in, and we just put the mascot in. You can change the color if you need to, and then you're going to go ahead and hit save. Once you hit save, it's going to fulfill everything that you need. So the roster in the fan app for the away team is going to be all for the kids' pictures, going to be their mascot. You're going to put pictures in of your kids for your roster, and so when they look at the roster, it's going to be all of your kids' picture, then their name, if you choose to. Now, football, soccer, and lacrosse, we don't do stats for, so we have, it's almost like 4 stats, and I'll show you what that means. So if I want to go ahead and add a player, you can add the kid's picture in here, and it's a 500 by 750. So we're going to go in and choose player. So I can go ahead and put that photo in, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. It's going to go ahead and create a card for that player, but I can go in a step further and edit it even further to the space that's going to be on the board. So I can hit edit image, and what shows up on the football board is this. It's called an accolade. So I can force an accolade to play. So typically this would be just for indoor, and it would go with a stat. But what happens is we create a bucket for your home team and your away team. And so what happens is it's going to have a little thumbnail for each player with their number in it. And you can go ahead and drop their photo in here and use this, and you would just edit the photos that you put in. So if you do like a media day, you can use this to help you cut those images. So you just move this white box around and it puts it in the space it's supposed to be.
So do you do this for each game? I mean, I know you enter your roster, right? And
Yeah,
it'll be there the whole season.
yeah. So once you enter your whole season, you don't have to put in for every game, because it's going to pick this as your home team, and it's going to line you up every weekend or every Friday you play with whoever your opposing team.
Right. And so what pushes to the fan app, is it however you edit this? And this also comes to the accolade? It's the same thing that comes to the accolade, the same view.
Yeah, the accolade only appears on the board.
Yeah.
The list of players will be on the fan app. So it doesn't do any stats, but it lists your players. So if grandma is at the game and she can't read something and she wants to know who number 29 is, she can go to the stats and pull it.
And on the fan app, the pictures don't pull through at all.
It does. If you put pictures in the rosters, they'll pull through. That's why we just do the filler for the mascot for the away team, because it automatically pulls the away team no matter what. So it would just be empty. But you're in the fan app, it would be your logo versus their logo. Does that make sense? So we want to make sure we put mascots in there. Now, this is a leaderboard. This is for indoor, just letting you know it's still here because it uses the same picture for both spaces. There's no leaderboard for outdoor. You're really just concerned about making sure it fits in this first one. But if you don't put a mascot in, this is what Max looks like. It's going to be that picture in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are you guys feeling? Besides that, Jamie's going to make Rick do everything.
I'm feeling dumb.
Okay, well, don't feel dumb, because
I'm a little worried about how to manage all of this, to be honest. When I'm sitting here listening to adding in rosters and everything else, and I'm not too worried about football because I have Matt sitting here, but literally I have multiple teams that are going to play out there in the spring, and then finding someone to upload every single roster, mascot, student.
Okay, so you put in what you want to. Does that make sense?
I know,
So if
but
you
if I
choose-
have to put in the mascots, correct? Because if not, I'm going to have Max on the screen.
Yes, you would have to put the mascots in.
I think, Jamie, I think we can get there. I think, and I can help, right? But I think, and Rick, you'll become a super user as well. But I think it'll be just forcing those or encouraging those clubs to nominate somebody to be their expert. And once you enter the roster once, it's in. Once you spend an hour on this ahead of the season and put kind of the logos of each of your away game, your away teams, it's done. Right? If you want to put in the roster for the away team, fine. If you don't, you don't.
Right. And you don't really have to add your own roster if you don't want to. So for all those lower levels, I can tell you right now, there's tons of football teams that do not put freshmen, do not put JV. They
Yeah.
don't do their, I've got middle schoolers. I have people that basically their football field is used all summer for Pee Wee football and all kinds of stuff. They literally just go into the football app and just use it as they use it. They don't really care if it's even got branding on it for their teams. They just put home versus away and go for it, right? So it's all what you want to put in. And we're here to help. I mean, we're going to show you how to manage it as much as you want, right? So as much as you want to put in there. So you can start small. We don't need to pull all the fireworks out the first day because nobody really knows what we can do yet, right? So if you want to focus on just getting your seasons in for football, because that's your first, you guys don't play soccer at the same time, do you? Okay. And we just have football going on for fall, right? And is it just 3 teams or 2?
We'll have
It
high
will be,
school football, middle school football, and JV.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll start. Rick, you're on mute. I'll start working that. I'll start working it. We'll see where we get.
Okay.
And Jamie, I've got sponsor obligations too, and Colleen that I've got to work through. So
Yeah.
I've got to figure that part out too. I'm just excited to get to get to play with something.
Good.
Are you guys installed yet?
Board's up, power's not to it yet.
Okay. When is that going to happen? Do we know yet?
Great question.
Hopefully next week.
Okay. Okay, so let me show you this. I just want to show you why we kind of do everything we do. So when you get, this is the football app. I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it. So do you see 1? Do you want to connect to the scoreboard display? Yes or no? So obviously it would be yes if we're in ScoreVision. If you're away, you would hit no, right? You're going to have a server that you connect to, and yours is not going to say training. It's just going to say like football 1 or SV1. Then you see where
So
it
this
says,
is simulating the iPad, correct?
yep, this is your
Gotcha.
iPad.
Okay.
So when you come in here, your scorekeeper or whoever sets up the press box for the scorekeeper is going to come in here and they're going to pick what season they're going to play out of. So default is always first. So we need them to go ahead and see how it starts lining up all your different seasons. So once I hit like 2023 training, what happens is that game for that day. So all that work that you did in the cloud, you put the roster in, you put their colors in, their mascots, rules, and everything is sitting in here, and all they have to do is hit select and go, and they're done. If it's practice and your coaches are like, can we please use the board, right? They would go back and choose default, and then they can come in here and hit add a new game, and they're just going to create a game on the fly the day of practice. They're not working off of something that's already scheduled. Now, when you have 80 bits or those Pee Wee leagues, you can also have them go off of the default schedule. We don't care because you don't care if they go to the fan app or anything like, you know what I mean? They're just playing. So you can just have them say, okay, connect to SV1, go to default, hit add a new game. It's home versus away. They can add their team name in there if they want to, and they can rearrange those rules to be what's specific for that Pee Wee League, right? And then they just go on and play. I know I make it sound so simple. I really do. I think it's going to be okay. It's very overwhelming right now because it's new, but once you get the swing of it, it's really not that bad. And this just kind of shows you the scorekeeper. So, but all of this stuff is going to come in your training packet. So this is what you guys are going to get. So I'm going to show you. Let's do.
So
Sure.
we have to have, just while you're playing around, we're gonna, if, let's say for varsity football, we're gonna have, 55 players. So we have to upload into your server all 55 pictures.
If you want to, you don't have to.
Yeah, we'll work on
I
that,
mean,
Rick.
if we're gonna use, okay, so it has
Yeah.
to be into your server though, so,
Yep.
okay.
We'll use
Okay.
we'll use that Excel file to put in the stat
Their
the
name.
game stat, all the game stats.
Yep. And then you can also use an import for the roster. It's just a
Okay.
3-line
Yep.
name, first, last, and number.
Yep.
And then you just add the photos in there. And
Okay.
if they're already cut to the dimensions, so if you have like someone doing media day and they're super nice to you, you might get them to cut it for you. Then you just zip them in there and it goes in there.
Okay. All right. go
Again,
ahead,
I
sorry
make
to
it
cut you
sound
off.
like it's so easy. No, you're fine. You can cut me off whenever you want. Okay, this is what you guys are gonna get. So this call, once Matt sends it to me, I'm gonna add the link to this page. So it's gonna have table of contents. It's gonna be right here. It's gonna be in this Zoom recording session. But you're gonna have outdoor scorekeeping. So we're gonna have general scorekeeping, app overview. I'm gonna remove baseball from it because you guys don't have baseball. So you have football, lacrosse, soccer, and universal. Then everything that we did today is gonna be in here. To log into the app.scorevision.com is right here. Cloud dashboard, which we already went over, organization rules, competitions and events, and then that media review is your 102. I've pulled out just specific written guides that I think are very important as a go-to right away that you're going to use right away. All of the guides that are in there, these are the most important 5 guides for competitions and events, right? But if you hit this Vimeo link, it's going to have a little 1-minuters for each one of the sections that we did. And then over here, the next page is going to have producer app, SV capture, SVC manager, and fan app. So we got videos on that and instructions for those if you want to go through that. And then here is the support number. Whoa. Here's ScoreVision email, which is a 24-hour response. And then you have training. And so here's your scheduler for your next ones.
Can we
And
do that
please don't
now? Before we leave, maybe when we cut the video off, let's pick our training time, guys.
Yep.
I actually
can-
already scheduled it.
Oh, okay.
I guess we can change it, but I was just looking at the time for us to get 2 more in, we gotta move it. But if you want to stop the video, that's fine.
Yeah, whenever Colleen's finished.
Yeah,
we'll
you're
stop.
free. You
You want me to stop it?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Stop.
I'm just
Stop.
seeing who it's